In today's video, we're going to be going over the current state of the game, why players are so divided, things that GGG are doing right, what they're doing wrong, what they can improve on, and our plans with the channel and with our gameplay moving forward. So make sure you stay tuned to the end, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, mother lovers. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Mighty Moth here, back with another video. So I don't know if you guys have been on the internet lately, but it's pretty divided out there. If you've seen the GGG forums, the build showcases, people saying, "Oh, well, why would I even post my build just so you can hit it with the Nerf hammer, hard pass, nice try GGG," stuff of that nature. And I think it kind of spawned from all of the reaction videos and the POE clip thing. Like the community's divided to like POE 1 players, POE 2 players. Everyone else is caught in the crossfire. So these clip channels are just taking the worst of someone's live stream, clipping it and then taking it out of context and giving it to people in mass. And people are eating it up. And then you have these guys defending any of their criticisms, like no matter how valid they are. You have people like Rax and DM thrown in there, and honestly, I don't know how you could ever throw them in the same category as people who are like doomers or whatever, because they just give constructive feedback and they just have fair opinions. I've almost never disagreed with anything that DM and Rax have said, although, I mean, there's a couple of things here and there, but that's beside the point. But I feel like it's just an overwhelming amount of negativity. And it's even so much affected the forums. And I've been streaming a lot lately, even though I've been very tired from work and having my daughter, and it's been making me pretty fucking negative. Like, I'm frustrated, I'm tired, and all you see is like people shitting on the game and this sucks and that sucks, and I find myself reiterating that same stuff, even though I really like the game. Like, I love the game. There's just things they could be doing better. They've been tweaking the Abyss mobs, they've been tuning them. That green shit on the ground needs to go, though. Like, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. It's just like constant health depletion. That's the only way I can describe it. You can't heal through it. You can't do nothing through it. You just have to get off it, but you don't know where it is because everything's green and stuff like that. The optimization of the game is pretty shitty. Uh, so I wish they would gear more towards optimizing the game instead of trying to make, you know, build showcases and stuff like that. I know they're probably not the same team taking care of that, but I I just wish they would focus all of their resources on optimizing the game and balance changes. That's it. Those two things. Don't do anything else. Like, who cares about anything else? Now, I will say I like the campaign. I like the direction they're going. They're implementing uh, rewarding exploration by putting rogue exiles in there, by putting rare encounters in there, by putting chests and corners and stuff like that for you to find. Things of that nature. The crafting is really good for the most part. If you want a weapon or an armor or a helmet, you can pretty much figure out the way you need to go about to get what it is that you're looking for. Quivers, rings, and amulets you can omen craft with to get what you want. Somewhat. You can't really like completely narrow it down to get exactly what you want. It's not as deterministic as some of the other crafting, but it can be done. The Abyss desecration modifiers are cool and interesting, but I think they need to really work on balance, and they need to work on putting interesting things to give power to the other classes, the other archetypes. Like melee, for example, It's playable. Even in some cases, it's exceptionally good. But on average, it's harder to get started because you need life. You need to stack life. And my Blood Mage from last league went from having 7.1k life with life remnants overflow to 4.3 because of the Giant's Blood nerfs and stuff like that. That's almost a 50% HP loss. But you can get 1200 like 12,000, 15,000 energy shield. No problem. So I feel like that's a little skewed. Characters are feeling much more squishy than they were pre 0.3. And you can't put the percent health jewels in anything other than body armor. Well, the soul cores. So you're you were allowed to get one in your helmet, two in your armor, one in your gloves, one in your boots, one in your shield, and that's without even corruptions and extra sockets and all that. And then they're like, don't worry, y'all, you're going to be way fucking stronger because we're going to allow you to find gear with extra sockets and then you can corrupt it and get another socket and be super powerful. Oh, wait, but you can't put anything in them because everything is now bottlenecked to where you can only get this one in gloves, this one in boots, this one can go in your armor. But a Deadeye can get a bow with extra sockets and corrupt it with an extra socket and have 8 fucking projectiles going in a 360-degree, just firing out, clearing the map on a fucking Roa. That's cool. But it's not okay for you to be able to put 3% max health in every one of your armor pieces and get a 50% increase to health. Even though we didn't allow you to gain extra damage because they nerfed the iron runes, they nerfed the flat damage runes. So actually, by getting 4 sockets, you're getting 1% less damage than you were getting with 3 sockets. So what they were feeding you as it's gonna be a buff, it's actually just more steps to getting the same exact increase. That that doesn't make sense. But anyone that relies on plus spell skills or plus to projectiles fired, it's just better. It's just objectively better. If you need, say, resistances, it's objectively better. But the whole point was to put new interesting socketables so that in the end game you weren't using attribute runes and fucking resistance runes in your gear. But it's like everything is bottlenecked. Like you can't really just put in what you want. You couldn't just make a build that's super tanky for the sake of making a build that's super tanky. You have to put specific things in specific things. And I feel like for a patch that was basically directed at increasing build diversity, it just pigeonholed everyone into running this build. And if you're making an off meta build, you can still make it work, but it's just like a little bit worse than it would have been. But I feel like the game is going in the right direction, but we just have to give our feedback. Because as a melee player that needs to stack life, it is increasingly hard to do so. Like, it's just rough. You can never have enough health, and I feel like that needs to be their their goal, is to just allow you to get as much health as you want to. Don't put contingencies on anything like, oh, well, you can't put percent max life in a helmet, boots, or gloves. But you can put flat life in helmets, boots, and gloves. What's the difference? Why does it matter? I don't know. Anyways, I digress. So Our future plans are to make a Blood Mage with Shield Wall, hella elemental damage. I already have a mace with it. Elemental damage to attacks, extra damage is fire. With empowered attacks, deal increased damage and 6 to melee skills on it with reduced attribute requirements, which is huge because with the nerf to Giant's Blood, the more strength you get, the less life you actually receive from it. So it's like you don't want to have to invest that much strength because at the end of the day, you're going to get the same amount out of it as half the strength without Giant's Blood. So that's kind of rough. But I feel like the Blood Mage Bleed build that we made last league with Shield Charge, we tested it with Shield Wall. Me and the great Seijin been kind of bouncing ideas off each other. And I think that's going to be the build for melees if we can get all the tweaks worked out to be like the #1 boss killing build. I would probably run Wind Dancer or Resonating Shield depending on your playstyle. If you like to be a little bit more lazy or if you like to be a little bit more active, and I think those will do really well with clearing maps. Probably have like Herald of Blood and things of that nature to help with clear, and I think it'll be really good. So after that, we're going to be going to hardcore, and we're going to be playing with a few of the guys, me, Seijin, Smith Gaming, and my buddy Bone. Probably going to hop in, and we're going to try and I don't know if we can get a 6-man hardcore campaign playthrough. Probably going to be pretty rough, but we're going to try and make it happen. And I apologize for my voice. I'm pretty tired and wore out. We've been having a rough week. Haven't got a lot of rest, but I feel like that's the direction we need to take. I hope that if we can get enough good content out there, we won't have to see any more reaction videos. People reacting to people's reactions of reactions to original videos that were posted, and we can get back to just making plain old good, objectively good content. So just make sure that if you guys have any critiques, word them constructively, post them on the forum, give them your ideas. They need them. Because the new support gems, the unique ones, a lot of them to me they're not good. Corrupting Cry's unique one is like, why would I want to lose health to have the same damage? It should at least be a damage increase if I'm going to kill myself for using it. But things of that nature. But that's all I got. I want to keep this like semi-short. So that being said, if you liked what you saw, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment, stuff like that. Stay tuned for future videos of crafting and things of that nature. You already know what it is. You are enough. Stay blessed. And as always, stay mouthy. And we'll see you on the next video.